Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
Really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It is episode 260 of Weather Weekly. Good to be with you, meteorologist Marcus Bailey. The brutal cold has settled in, and we are back to a very mid-winter-like pattern. Not only cold, but it's going to get active here as we kind of roll over the next several days. We're going to talk about some of these bitter cold temperatures here that we're opening up the week with, and maybe some snow chances, maybe some bigger snow chances coming our way as we gear up over the next couple of weeks as we get on the back half of the month of January. It is the week ahead for January 19th, 2026. We'll talk about it next. You're listening to Weather Weekly.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
It is episode 260 of Weather Weekly. Let's dive into the forecast. It is the week ahead for January 19th, 2026. Cold weather continues as we go into your Monday. As we roll into the afternoon hours, it is not going to be fun. I think highs only will be into the mid-teens, even though we'll see some clouds breaking here for the holiday. I know a lot of kids are out of school, not all. All right, so bundle up. It is going to be frigid throughout the rest of your Monday. Wind gusts could be 25 to 30, so that's going to keep wind chills well below zero, especially north of I-70 as we go through the late morning and early afternoon hours. There also could be a few flurries during the day, but nothing significant, and that would be in the northern portions of our state for Martin Luther King Day. All right, Monday night. Really cold. Again, I don't think we're going to be as windy, so our wind chills won't be quite as extreme, but it's going to be plenty cold enough. Down to 6 Monday night, mainly clear. Wind chills will probably be between 0 and 10 below, I think. So do expect some school delays, and that one could be weather-related, not necessarily related to the national championship game Monday night. Might make that decision a little bit easier for some of the superintendents, though, with the bitter cold temperatures heading into Tuesday morning. All right. Tuesday, mostly sunny skies. It's still going to be a cold day. Highs only into the mid-20s. Wednesday, we will have a kind of a moderate Wednesday in terms of temperatures and a kind of a brief window where we might actually see temperatures climb above freezing. I've got us around 40, honestly, here in Indianapolis. Some of you may only slide into the mid-30s. There will be a fast-moving system that's going to bring rain and then probably flipping over to snow, and then that is going to bring another shot of cold air for the late week. High temperatures, like I said, on Wednesday around 40. Very little, if any, accumulation expected with any snow chances. Wednesday will dip down to a low of 20. Thursday, mostly sunny skies, again cold, a high of 28. Thursday night, partly cloudy, not terribly frigid considering the cold air mass that's going to be sliding in. We'll have a low down to 20. Now, what I'm going to spend a little bit more time on is the end of the week. There's been some social media kind of chatter. Some of you may have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's fine. But let me explain that there's been some chatter about maybe a more potent system coming our way for this upcoming weekend. Now, time frame could vary from Friday to Monday. I know that's a pretty large window there. It's one of these things that we're going to have to kind of iron out. I can tell you this, though. Some of the numbers that float around on social media are comical. They're record-breaking. That will never happen, okay? We live in an era, unfortunately, that Facebook monetizes engagement, and what gets engagement is doomsday posts. I think we're all very aware of that. And so that's where a lot of these pages that want to make a name for themselves that's how they kind of play the game there. So listen, I'm not going to call anybody out, but let's just put it out there and I'm not going to do anything to stop it. I can't. Know this, if you follow me on social media, you listen to this podcast, if it is something that is major, you will hear it here, right? You will see it on my Facebook pages. With that said, let me I made a detailed post about this Sunday afternoon, Sunday the 18th, if you want to look back, about what we actually look at when we're looking at a potential system a week in advance. We look at ensemble runs as opposed to deterministic runs, which is one singular run. And that's what you sometimes see on social media. And it's got these beefy numbers for ice or snow. We look at ensemble runs. And so example, what I'd used as an example on Sunday on my post was the European run, which actually does very well in the winter season. Okay. That's what we use a lot. The ensemble, instead of having one single run, it is 51. All right. And if you actually look at what's coming our way for the weekend, out of the 51 members, only 8 are going above 6 inches of snow. All right. That's a pretty low chance. Now, is that a zero chance? No, it is not. And so could there be a bigger snow in the cards for us this weekend? Yes, absolutely. If you look at the mean or the average, all of them are saying we're going to get snow this weekend. Many are just kind of hovering in the 2 to 3 inch realm. Okay. It is something we will fine tune. All right. So I get some people that will say, oh, I'm seeing this crazyweatherpage.com is saying we're going to get 30 inches of snow next weekend. It's going to be unbelievable, blah, blah, blah. No, just no. All right. And that's fine. I like that people come and ask me, but then I have to come and explain and be like, listen, that's just silliness. It's for Facebook clicks, blah, blah, blah. So now you know. Okay. So what I say is, listen, there's no way of accurately forecasting a system that is not even made landfall in the United States from the West, okay? Or in the southern central plains or wherever this is originating from. So these kind of things take patience. Everybody wants to be first. Everybody wants to have that first viral forecast out there to get all the likes and the shares. These kind of things take patience if you want accuracy. And honestly, sometimes it's not about the numbers. I've mentioned this a lot. It's about the timing. And that's what I'm going to spend a lot of my time on. Numbers do matter, but the timing and the impact sometimes I think is a much bigger issue. So that is something we're going to watch. All right. So basically I'm just going to broad brush Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Chances of snow. It does look like it's going to get cold. I think we've got upper 30s on Friday, upper 20s on Saturday, and low to mid 20s on Sunday. You're going to have some cold air that's going to be funneling in back behind this system. And I do want to mention, and I know I've spent a lot of time on snow, there is a scenario where we might be having to deal with some ice in parts of our state. This potentially could be a potent system that's going to have all of the factors: rain, sleet, ice, snow, all of that. So the wheres and the whens, that's to be determined. So something I want you to put on your radar. Check back later this week. If it is going to be kind of a more significant system, of course, we will jump on and do a special podcast. But pay attention to my Facebook pages. We'll be doing Facebook Lives. I'll be updating frequently, all that kind of stuff. And that'll get you kind of ahead of the game if we do have some issues here. Even if it's a minor system, of course, we will continue to post about what's heading our way, because that's what we do. All right. So that's just I want to get on my soapbox a little bit. Thanks for bearing with me. I know sometimes I can get a little windy and lengthy on these podcasts, and a lot of you just want the forecast. So that is where we stand for next weekend. Okay. Not ruling out a big system, but let's not, completely go crazy here. It's not going to be a record-breaking snow or anything like that, okay? We will talk some climate stuff and look ahead deeper into the forecast over the next couple weeks. All that and much more. You're listening to Weather Weekly. Okay, let's do some climate stuff here first. We'll start with Indianapolis. For the month, precipitation-wise, we're about 1/4 of an inch. We're down about 1.5 inches. Since the beginning of December, again, this is the liquid equivalent, not snow, 2.67 since December 1st. We're down about 2 inches of precip there. All right, so we're running a little dry, and I've mentioned that we've got some drought issues ongoing. There are some severe drought conditions going over parts of the state. Snow helps. All right, snow does help. That is liquid. Eventually, it is going to be liquid. And it's been tough to come by since basically early December. Snowfall for the month, 0.4 inches of snowfall. There's going to be parts of Florida that are going to have more snow here to start off the week anyway in the month of January than we've seen in Indianapolis. Normal value should be at 5 inches for the month, so we're down 4.6. Since December 1st, 12.2. We are now nearly average. After we had a tremendous start, it has kind of come to a crashing halt. We are now about 0.8 to the plus side against the average. So there you go. 15.7 then for the snow season, because we did get some snow in November, 3.4 inches on the positive for the average. Just an FYI, for the snow season, Fort Wayne is up to 17.6 inches of snow for the snow season. That is up 2.3. In South Bend, get this, South Bend, and part of this is from this, we had a massive lake effect snow this last week. A couple of areas in St. Joseph County picking up nearly 1.5 feet of snowfall. 55.4 inches of snowfall for South Bend. That puts them plus 22.3 against the average to date. Pretty wild. All right. So yeah, some big time snows up north. Real quick, I did want to talk about a few days into the extended. We're going to run real cold. There are some signs that we're going to have another really bitter blast of air following this potential weekend system, okay, where numbers will probably slide into the teens on Sunday and Monday. That's the 25th and 26th, and then low 20s Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe a little bit more extended cold. And if you really want to go beyond that, I see some of these chunks of the polar vortex kind of wobbling around Canada and then just waves of them clipping the Midwest, that I think we're going to stay awfully cold probably through the rest of the end of the month. The 8 to 14 day outlook, which would then take us from the 25th to the 31st, it would take us to the end of the month. Pretty strong signal for below average temperatures and near normal precipitation in that time frame. Okay. The February outlook now is out. No real signs either way on temperatures, but it does look like we could be active in February with some signals of above average precipitation. Okay. All right. So there you go. We do have the, again, northern Indiana, slight risk for heavy snow between the dates of the 25th and the 27th. That would be this weekend system. All right. So again, and heavy snow is usually defined as 4 inches of snow or more. And that's an experimental product that you can look at the Climate Prediction Center when you go to the 8 to 14 day hazards outlook. Okay. All right, that's going to do it for me. Again, stay tuned to the forecast. We'll let you know what is or what is not going to be happening for this upcoming weekend in terms of any snow or ice or maybe rain. And then the bitter cold blast to follow heading into next week. You can follow me on social media anytime. I'm most active on my Facebook page, Marcus Bailey Weather. Just go to facebook.com/Marcus Bailey Weather, all one word after that / there. I'm also on X at Marcus Bailey. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram as well. I believe those are Marcus Bailey Weathers if you look up those on those social media platforms. You can also get my forecasts Monday through Friday on TV, locally in Indiana, channel8wishtv.com, based out of Indianapolis. And just click the live stream tab if you are outside of our viewing area in our television market. And of course, you can get our forecast 24 hours a day, wishtv.com/weather. And you can find it there also on our free Storm Track 8 weather app. While you're here, make sure to check out all the other great podcasts, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Have a wonderful week. We will talk soon, and God bless.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.